came in this afternoon. The Rivers State PDP Presidential Campaign Council says it turned down Governor Wike's reapproval for the use of the Adokie Emesie Maka Stadium for its rally because of the mode of communication. Now, spokesperson for the PDP PCC in Rivers State, Leloonu Nwibubasa, told our correspondent the governor should formally communicate his reapproval to the Director General of the Campaign Council. Here is what Dr. Leloonu Nwibubasa, or some of what he had to say to our correspondent on the matter.
We have said that he revoked the earlier approval through a letter written to the DG of Atiku Campaign Council, Alhaji Aminu Ambuwa. A word of mouth on the podium of a campaign rally cannot substitute a documented revocation of an approval. So if you said you have reapproved, then write to the campaign organization the same way you wrote to us to revoke the approval. Already, you are aware that as at last weekend, when the information got to us that the governor has revoked the use, well, we have our options on the table. The rally we hold will inform Rivers people and invite all Rivers people to be part of that campaign. Of course, the venue will not be hidden because people will expect to come to the venue.
And he also showed that the presidential campaign of the PDP will be held in Rivers State. Let's get your take on this at this time. I'm asking you. Many questions, no doubt, arise as a result of this development. And amongst those questions, I'm asking you specifically, what is the Rivers State governor's move indicative of, in your estimation? What do you think is going on? Join the conversation. We're live on Facebook.com/NigeriaInfoPH. We're live on Twitter @NigeriaInfoPH as well. However, I do have with me in the studio the spokesperson for the PDP Presidential Campaign Office here in Rivers State, Dr. Leloonu Nwibubasa. Dr. Nwibubasa, good evening to you. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Good evening, Dario, and welcome all our listeners.
Great. You, like other political parties, are required to, based on Executive Orders 21 and 22 of the Rivers State Governor, you must have submitted your application to make use of the state facility. That application was approved by the Rivers State government initially to make use of the said stadium. Not long afterwards, that approval was withdrawn by the state government on the grounds that it received some report, I suppose, that your campaign council, the PDP campaign council, quite shockingly, was planning to use the venue with an opposition party, the All Progressives Congress, the APC. Of course, your campaign office vehemently denied that through a letter which I did cite as well at some point. Now, that no doubt must have affected your plans. That no doubt in some way must have put some cog in the wheel as far as plans for your campaign rally in Rivers State is concerned. And picking a different venue and the logistics and organizing for that may have caused some headaches in your rank. However, in a dramatic move, in what may be described as a twist to the tail, the Rivers State government has reversed that disapproval and has issued a fresh approval, supposedly or reportedly, for your campaign team to make use of the said facility. This, in some quarters, might be perceived as a breath of relief or a sigh of relief for you and your team. Are you excited? That's where I'm going with this, by the way. Are you excited that this approval has been reissued, supposedly, by the governor, and the pain and the headache of having to figure out a different venue and the logistics and what that might warrant and entail, all of that may now be history?
Well, Dario, you are aware that we got the news of the revocation of the use of the stadium. And when that news came, the question was, were we surprised? And I said, we were not surprised at all. So same way we were not surprised that Governor Wike withdrew that approval, the same way we are not excited that he has rescinded on his earlier decision. There's no excitement. We can't be excited about someone who gives with the right hand and takes with the left. What convinces us that if we accept that or we are excited over it, that tomorrow in another campaign rally also say that he has disapproved? Because he gets
for the disapproval, if you revocation of the approval given, alleged that your campaign team were working at the time, I suppose, with the Progressive Congress. Now the governor has signed on that revocation. It does imply that you are no longer working with the APC.
Well, rightly said. A permanent campaign in Rivers State. The very former Minister for Transport, Chief Dr. Precious Abieski, has stated very clearly the position of the Presidential Campaign Council in Rivers State, that we have nothing to do with the campaign that has been on to ensure that as the next president of the Republic of Nigeria, that would be a huge distraction to target BC on back. We are trying of course, on marketing presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and Dr.
So where do you suppose the reports emanate from?
Well, that report to be able to go by, then question will be was changed the report that has informed the governor to respond his decision. As we're working with the AP, is no longer potential for violence on that. They just were the allegations in the
Now, interestingly, the governor did not speak that for the reason of for education earlier. However, he did say reportedly that this latest decision was taken because there were persons, or lots of persons, supposedly, who pleaded with the governor to have some advice. Persons, are you aware of this?
I think that in this case, the PDP Presidential at the national candidate will have been the beneficiary of the use of the stadium, and so it's not in my knowledge that any member of our team had pleaded for any reason for the use of the stadium. So it's not to my knowledge, because if we are supposed to be the first beneficiary, then we should be the one that should be pleading.
You said whether or not you have hinted on one occasion that even if you don't get to use the Adoke Emesemaka Stadium, I mean, that campaign rally of the PDP, the presidential rally, would hold in Rivers State. What are the mapped out or identified to use in the event
of the use of the stadium? We said we were not surprised because we had our options on the table. We have pain. We are worried.
This place could manage your facilities?
Well, like I said, I mentioned.
However, you've said, as I put back a while ago, and you just said that as well, that the original revocation came via some formal communication. And you are not excited right now, or even accepting this fresh approval, because, as you say, it's mere word of mouth. Now, if official communication comes from the Rivers State government, as did when the revocation order was given, would you then accept this fresh approval and go on with your plans to use the Adoke Emesemaka Stadium?
Certainly, if the governor goes through the more official means of communicating with the well-constituted Presidential Campaign Council of our able presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, of course, we will receive such communications, and then it will be the prerogative of the Presidential Campaign Council to accept or reject.
With all that's playing out right now, with the Rivers State governor and the presidential candidate and the campaign team in Rivers State, it's all the governor and the campaign team president.
I'd expect you to ask that question because, first of all the members of the presidential campaign team of Atiku Abubakar from Rivers are people that have been labeled the enemy of the state because of to work with well. The governor has also done the time that he wants to see how we come to campaign for Atiku Abubakar. All has never been because his point has been that he wouldn't be the one to nominate us to work with Atiku Abubakar and not electing ourselves to that of as our leader. We've been entreating him at all times. Come back to the house. Podium during the campaign did not respect the presidential campaign council. We have noticed a trend over the period that Governor Wike gives with right and takes with left, and so he has a plan of giving and taking. We can't take that as a way of bringing himself. There are more issues that lost between our presidential campaign.
It is hard fact to Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt, the number one talk station. We do have to go on a commercial break now. We've got headlines 5:30 as well. We will return shortly. My conversation with Dr. Leloonu Nwibubasa, the spokesperson, PDP Presidential Campaign Office here in Rivers State. We'll continue in a moment. But for now, you can join us via Facebook and Twitter, Nigeria Info PH. The phone lines will be opened when we return. Please stay with us. Hard fact returns in a bit.